received on the
He did. He redeemed himself when he came back, and he mentored Mike Schmidt and
What's up, Dan?
those guys
How are you?
in the 70s, and they honored him.
Good.
It was just disappointing that he died before he.
Right.
You know, but it's a pretty good local interest story, but also about what he went through.
All right, I'd like to call to order the Beaver County Board of Commissioners meeting for Wednesday, February 26, 2025. Review of work session discussion, meeting minutes.
We're good.
All right. Department head report. Any department head report? None? Hearing none, all right.
Who are you?
It's gonna be a quick one. We'll move to the solicitors.
Just an update on the parking lot. Heard back from Len Smith Solar Array, the engineering firm, regarding the bids. They're hoping to have that put together here within the next 2 weeks.
For the parking garage, okay.
All right. Yeah, sorry, parking garage, not parking lot.
Dan, did you, speaking of the garage, were you able to order the new signs that need to be ordered?
Yeah, I'm kind of torn. We have to have something there, obviously, but it's an odd number. It's like 7'3". I guess look, to be safe, I put 7 foot. It's
Yeah, there's no issue rounding down to 7 foot, right? I mean,
No.
What's the typical height of a king cab pickup truck that might have one of those little racks on the back, like our friend with the welding equipment?
Yeah. I don't know, offhand exactly what the height is. The truck that I'm driving currently, it's a Chevy 2500. It's pretty high.
Yeah.
I know. I'm 6'5", and it's close with me.
Okay.
17 resolutions are on the agenda tomorrow. A couple of the highlights. Number 4 is a agreement for New Brighton, Fifth Avenue sidewalks, doing putting 88 curb ramps on Fifth Avenue in New Brighton. And we have quite a few leases tomorrow. Number 6 is a lease for an office space in the Human Services Building through Behavioral Health. UPMC provides services there. Number 13 is a lease of the current building that we have in Rochester. We're going to extend that for another 6 months. CYS has been displaced due to the issues with the renovation over at the Human Services Building. So they're going to utilize the building that we utilized for the assessment to sort of work out for the next couple of months. And then number 17 is a lease for the snack bar here in Beaver, in the courthouse, that the current provider will continue to use. I would say 9 and 10 for Mr. Woolley's purposes. Library events. The County Reads event is on June 12th, and the con event would be October 18th, and both of those are at CCBC. Do need an executive session to go over contract negotiations matters.
no reason to reconvene.
Correct.
All right. Any questions for the solicitor's office? None? Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Manning?
Just a couple of quick things. I know, Maria, you've asked about Styropec. The closure still goes. CareerLink and Job Training from Beaver County have done a great job. They've held a bunch of different job fairs there, and several of those employees, with the labor shortage that's out there, are getting jobs. So I'm very hopeful that it won't really add to our unemployment ranks significantly. Based on, they had like 6 or 8 different employers come in, interview current employees and stuff. A lot of them already have job offers. Some of them have already gravitated those new jobs. So I'm very hopeful that there won't be significant layoffs as a result of the closure of Styropec. The other thing was, met with Michael Baker and the planning group, broadband, the Connect Beaver County website. I invite you all to continue to look at the Connect Beaver County website. They have a new tool that's in there under the affordability tab. You can look up and there's these hexagons that break up where all the ISP, the internet service providers, are in the county, and it can tell you who can provide the internet service for your specific address and location. We're now at a point where there's some options for people rather than, It's tough with utility companies on who you get to choose to supply your water, your electricity, but at least with the internet, we now have arrangements as Verizon keeps going and Comcast, but also the other ones, including Starlink, being there for where they're available and stuff. It's a really neat tool that has grids all through the county there. And there'll be some other announcements coming out shortly on, we're almost 50% complete with Verizon on the hookups to houses. So continue to do good work on the broadband fund. Other than that, that's it for me.
The only thing I have is Sandy, our office is working on getting a few of the chairs brought here in person so we could test a few out. A variety of them. So hopefully in the next week or two, we'll be able to have them come in and test a few out.
Tables and chairs?
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna test the tables out, but the chairs, yeah.
Well, if you need a tester, let
Yep,
me know.
we'll let you know. We'll move to other business. Any other business? Audience participation. Ms.
Okay, a
Wolf?
couple things. We're talking about the displacement of the workers for the other.
Start.
No. We were gonna rent this other space.
Oh, see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, children's
Thank
services,
you,
yep.
thank you. It escaped me. So, we were down 6 months?
No, the lease, we were required to sign this for 6 months.
Okay.
We're not certain how long at this point they'll have to be in there. We expect it's not gonna be that length, but the landlord, in order for us to enter into this, needed it to be for 6 months.
Okay, so, like with the other building, are we talking about like heating and air conditioning, roof, or what's going on?
As far as the renovation,
It was the,
yeah, the sprinkler system went off
yeah, the fire, when we had a fire on December 28th, 29th, whatever the date was
end of
there.
December.
In December, there was a fire. The sprinkler system worked, did its job, but it flooded down from the 3rd floor to the 2nd floor. So the whole one side of the building needed to be completely gutted to get all the water out.
The ductwork, man.
Duct work.
And there's delays in delivery of the equipment and.
Yeah, when we first met with the construction company, they said, 3 or 4 weeks to be done, and then it turned to 3 to 4 months.
4 months.
Who is that?
ProServe is doing some of the renovation.
Okay.
This is all being handled through our insurance carrier.
And then, yes, I did have a question about the Star Tech. So a lot of those people are getting other jobs, that's really great. I'm now concerned about, the property. Now, the Star Tech owns that property, right?
Correct.
And they're not selling the business, they're just selling the property.
Well, they're not selling anything right now. They're closing the operations.
But they will sell, they're eventually just gonna.
It has not been determined what they intend to do with the site. I can pretty much guarantee you, there won't be another polystyrene production plant. Part of raising them out of the business is the business model, economic development for that site could bring some other businesses into it to make it attractive.
Has anybody shown any interest?
Some people have, and we've referred it to them, but they're not in any position yet to make a decision on what they're gonna do, whether they're gonna remediate the site, sell it as is, scrap the equipment that's on there. There's a whole process, having gone through this a couple of times in my life. There's a whole several different avenues they could go down. And I don't want to speculate or speak on their behalf, but they have not made a decision yet on what will happen to the 80 some acres that'll be left. And that's,
So are they considering putting another business in there?
no,
So they're just.
my guess is they'll put it up for sale.
Okay, so they are gonna potentially sell it. Now, who are those
I would
companies
assume they
that
would.
who showed some interest?
Hmm?
Who were the company that showed some interest?
I don't know, I just know through the local Pittsburgh Regional Alliance and the CED, people are always inquiring about property in Beaver County, and some have expressed an interest, and we said, well, Cyber Records, go contact. I have no idea who they are,
Okay,
or what
so
kind of operations they're.
now, It's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that that is owned by a company from Mexico.
They are Mexican-based, yes,
Okay.
based out of Mexico.
So- Are we in the habit of selling property like that to foreign companies?
You realize that
We
the
have
commissioners have
no-
nothing to do with that, that's a private entity.
I,
Yeah, there's no county oversight of that, it's a private business. Whoever they sell it to, we wouldn't be able to say yes or no to. We no difference than you selling your home, the county here couldn't dictate who you sell your home to.
Well,
there is foreign ownership over multiple businesses and properties all throughout southwestern PA. These folks just happen to be a global company based out of Mexico City. So I have no control over that.
okay, who does?
But why are you asking?
Well, I
these
don't know,
questions?
I'm concerned about foreign countries owning property in the United States.
Okay,
But yeah, that's something you would
it's a
have
federal
to,
issue.
yeah, to the extent, you're talking about the Nippon Steel, I think that's sort of what you're getting at,
Oh, yeah, that one too.
that's a federal issue, that's headed by the federal, that's not headed by the county as far as being involved over the oversight of that particular sale. Just like the same thing that would happen with Styropack. To the extent there'd be any type of oversight over it, over who they could sell to, that would come from the federal government, not from county government.
But by the way, Nova Chemical, who sold it to Styropack, is a Canadian company. So just for historical reference.
Good to know,
Okay.
thank you.
Any other audience participation? State your name for Cindy, please.
Laura Dimble.
Thank you.
Sure, everybody's doing well. Just wanted to get an update on the agenda posting. Do you have any update today?
I don't know if it's posted right now, if it's not posted right now, it's gonna be posted immediately after this meeting.
Okay. So that's still a local violation of the Sunshine Act, but it's required.
It's not, you can see the district attorney, my understanding, you've already tried to see them, so. I think you're bringing up the same thing you brought up 2 weeks ago.
I don't think that I need to be challenged to go to the district attorney's office when I'm asking a simple question pertaining to a legal requirement of the PA Sunshine Act. Requires all entities. You're our county commissioners. What type of example are you setting for our local municipalities?
I believe we're in compliance with the law.
Can you explain to me how?
I believe we're in compliance.
We
You're in compliance with the law by willfully posting your agenda after the 24-hour minimum mark. 10 a.m.
So you're saying that the difference of 20 minutes to half an hour, it makes a large difference?
I didn't write the law, Jerry.
I'm asking
I'm
you,
not-
is
I'm
that
not
what your
the
complaint
judge.
is?
I'm not the judge and I'm not the legal enforcement.
So if we would post it at 9:59 this morning, you wouldn't be down here complaining about
You're
it?
absolutely right.
Thank you, so noted.
That's the law. Those are the requirements. And what type of example are you setting for our local municipalities?
I think a
If
pretty
our
good one.
county commissioners are willfully violating the Sunshine Act, what is going to tell our board of supervisors, hey, you know what, you should post your agenda 24 hours before the meeting?
Well,
You have a civil responsibility.
welcome to the Commonwealth.
Welcome to Beaver County.
Welcome to the Commonwealth.
This is Beaver County.
Somebody has an
This is
issue
your
with me, they
county
can take it up with
commissioner,
me.
Manny. This is your county commissioner, Cam,
No
and
kidding.
you're willfully violating the Sunshine Act.
No, this is your county, not my county.
But you're withholding information from us that we're entitled to.
How are we withholding it? It's probably online right now as we speak.
It's not online right now as we speak.
Okay, it's gonna be there within 10 minutes.
Okay,
How is
but
that
that's not-
withholding information?
Because
How does
you
that
have
20-minute difference make a difference in your
Are
life
you
as
writing
far
the
as
agenda
knowing,
right now?
as far as knowing what's on the agenda for tomorrow? The whole purpose of that is to notify
Doesn't matter
people
what difference
what
it
is gonna
makes
be
in my
on
life.
the agenda to discuss tomorrow. So that way, if you have an issue that you wanna bring up, you're notified of it. I cannot imagine that a person out there would say that their ability to question something on the agenda tomorrow is affected because the agenda is posted 23 hours and 45 minutes prior to the meeting.
Do you have the agenda in front of you right now in your packet? Is the agenda on your desk? right
These
now?
are resolutions that will likely be put up on the agenda for tomorrow. It's not the agenda.
Has the agenda been written?
I don't know that. I don't do that.
Who does that?
Clerk, chief clerk.
Okay, can we get the chief clerk to answer?
I mean, there's gonna be an
Is the
agenda.
agenda written?
If
Is the
presumably is, because it's gonna be posted here
Okay.
momentarily.
Then what is the problem in posting it at 9:59 or 10:20?
Because as
What does it
Commissioner,
do
as we
for
said,
you
as we
to
said
post
last
it
time,
30 minutes
if there's
later?
something on these resolutions that get pulled off, we have to go through protocols to change the agenda during the meeting.
And you have to go through protocols to post the agenda prior to today's meeting. That's the law.
Why is it necessary?
I didn't write the law, sir,
And you should.
but I'm here to enforce it because I'm
Yes,
asking
Maria?
a simple question.
I think to her statement is like, for me, I probably will not be able to make tomorrow. So if I had that to look at today, then I could ask you questions today.
You will in 15 minutes.
Well, the meeting will be closed. This meeting will be closed.
Oh, I got you.
That's what I'm
I see
saying,
where
you
you're
know,
going.
if
Yep,
I-
yep.
If I had a question about what you were gonna do tomorrow,
Correct.
I won't be here tomorrow, so today would be my day to ask.
You understand the only reason why this is a relevant topic is because most people don't meet back to back like the way the county does. So most people don't have a work session and then have a voting meeting 24 hours
The
later.
next day.
So in a scenario where there's something that would be on the work session, normally there's a week or two prior to the meeting when it's actually voted on.
Okay, so could we do that, or?
A lot of times these resolutions aren't even put together till almost the day of.
Okay,
I mean, there's a working document that is ongoing throughout the 2 weeks between the meetings,
sure.
but the final version of it, a lot of times doesn't get into our hands, sometimes the day of. And that's why we're not trying to hide from anyone. We're not trying to put away, I'd say if anything, we're more transparent than probably what a vast majority of the local municipalities do. As far as putting what's on their
I'm
agenda.
not trying to cast shade or anything like that, I'm just saying that if
No,
I.
I get your point.
For me.
You have an opportunity today
Yeah, I have an
to see what's
opportunity to talk
gonna be
about
there.
it tomorrow.
to have a
today.
conversation.
So can we just change the energy here? Can we see how Ms. Maria is getting responded to in a very respectful manner? And you're very contentious and very disrespectful to me for no reason whatsoever. I simply came in and asked for an update as to where we stood with the agenda. You've challenged me on multiple occasions. Mr. Morgan, would you like to speak to me?
No, not to you.
You can say what you want.
That's
I'm
fine,
sorry.
but I don't appreciate the disrespect from this board. What does it do for you to speak to me in this manner? What is it doing for you in this moment?
I think you're trying to antagonize us. You can say whatever you want to say. I don't have any more comment at this point unless you have a particular question. Thank you.
Any other audience participation? Ms. Gray?
Hi, Cindy Gray, Center Township. I do have a question. I just want to make a quick statement with regards to businesses that come in from other countries. Mexico and Canada are America's allies, and I think that it would just be, as a Canadian, it would be unfortunate of me not to mention that. I think it's also important that we recognize that there are many immigrants in Beaver County that are very interested in local issues and make sure they show up. Thank you for that. My question is about a media report yesterday with regards to Penn State University discussing some potential closures of campuses. And Beaver was on that list for consideration. I don't know if I know that's a state level thing, but I don't know if any of you have any information just from the ground on that.
It's not a state level thing, it's a Penn State
Yeah.
thing,
Okay,
right? I did text Karen Dougal. We were aware they were vulnerable. I believe and I mentioned it last week, with the announcement that the animal testing lab is coming to Beaver campus. I think that's a very positive event to happen. So I'm very hopeful that they won't be one of the closures when you look at all the others. But clearly, they have lower enrollment than a significant number of those, 20 different satellite
Yeah.
locations that are across the Commonwealth. They're on an unsustainable path. I understand they have to do something, and there'll be some closures. They didn't really announce of the 12 that were vulnerable, how many of those might close. My guess is maybe a handful. But I'm very hopeful that the Beaver campus won't be one of those. I think with the Penn State extension moving on the campus, with this ag lab coming, and hopefully with a revamping of the curriculum there that may create more agricultural-based kind of, curriculum and stuff, that can be a draw for the region that doesn't exist anyplace else. So that's just my opinion. Otherwise, I don't know.
Received a few emails this morning regarding support letters, asking for support letters, so we're gonna discuss those. Obviously, they wanna make an announcement,
End of spring
end of
semester.
spring, but it won't be until the 26-27 school year for closures to prepare. We're lower on the totem pole of enrollment, but high on the list that they have of the schools that they listed. And we offer dormitory where a lot of those other ones don't.
All commuter.
We have a lot of positive things going for us in that list that's there, but again, it'll affect the community, it'll affect Beaver County as a whole too, so, but with Governor Shapiro's investment and along with Secretary Russell Redding and Senator Vogel's advocacy to get that diagnostic lab here, I think, we're on the right track. I learned yesterday that this is the 60th year for the college to be in Beaver County. And the commissioners in 1965 are the ones who pretty much started the school. So they donated the land, they donated the sanatorium that was there. So, I think we're gonna be able to help support them, vocally and advocate for it to stay, so.
Thank you, that's.
I'm on the advisory
Yeah.
board for Penn State,
Okay.
and as well as the county commissioners, and they meet monthly. That has not been a topic of conversation that there is any fear.
Chancellor McDougal, Carrie McDougal, has the Beaver campus and
Shenango.
where's it, Shenango, what's it, right? She oversees 2 campuses. They had already started to move and reduce some of the costs by having one chancellor over multiple locations. So I think that's important to know and factor in there, so.
Thank you for that. It was an interesting announcement of the lab and then see that. I was like.
It's a little ironic that they would come kind of back to back like that, but I'm very optimistic.
That's why we ask questions, so we have that information. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other audience? Ms. Wolf?
I just wanted to clear it up. I think it's very good for foreign investment in our country and especially in Beaver County. I'm just not in favor of ownership of the land by other countries, whether they're allies or not.
Well,
But that's not your department. I just want to.
no, but I agree with you when it's a foreign adversary, right? And there are issues being on the farm. Beaver Lawrence Farm Bureau and stuff, and Chinese buying up farmland is not a good thing. I would agree with you on that. Or Russian ownership of some steel mills, which they own in Pennsylvania and elsewhere, is not a good thing in my mind, but that's me, so.
Thank you. Any other audience participation? Hearing none, we'll go into executive session, not reconvene. Thank you.